Hello, folks at Verbling. My name is Holly, and I will be running a class today on discussions, basically how to keep discussions going. We'll talk about structuring an argument and also giving opinions. And hopefully by the last part of the class, we'll just be doing more of a free discussion where you will be giving your opinions about specific topics. So that's actually the plan for today. So I look forward to the participants who have signed up to come, and we will have this class start the class. So this is pretty much a basic business meetings topic. And I will get the link for the class. Just waiting for people to come. So my name is Holly, and we will be doing an activity today, or activities today, on discussions. We'll start out more of it with a structured learning situation. Let me show you. We'll have a quick discussion, and then we'll talk about how you can structure an argument, and by looking at some readings. And we'll look at some expressions that people can use, complete a discussion, talk about some expressions people would use for agreeing and disagreeing, practice, and then practice agreeing and disagreeing. And then we'll finally just have some discussions on agreeing and disagreeing. So that is the plan for today. And I look forward to working with the people who have said they would be coming today. So a little about me. My name is Holly. I am from Idaho, which is in the Pacific Northwest, or the mountain region of the United States. So, hi, Alina. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, fine. And you?
Very good. So remind me, what time in Russia, would it be 7 a.m. right now?
8 a.m.
It's 8 a.m. Okay, your time. Okay. Yeah, so 8 a.m. Okay.
The difference is about 8 hours, yeah?
Yeah. No, it's actually about 10.
About 10.
Yeah. So because it's 10 p.m. right now. So, and then Spain and Germany and France, Central Europe, is 8 hours. And so at midnight, it's at my midnight, it's 8 a.m. there. So at your midnight, it's 10 a.m. So
yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. So how was your sleep?
Oh, fine, fine. I just need a little rest. Every day, yeah. Every day I'm thinking of when finally I'm going on holiday.
How are you? Are you going?
Yeah, I don't know, because normally I should go right now, because before the end of the year, because I have just 2 weeks, and 2 weeks there is left.
Okay.
Yeah, but unfortunately, right now it's impossible for me, because we just will start our construction work in Milan, and I should go to Milan for being there and to manage the construction.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's impossible to ask a holiday. Right now. It's impossible. I believe that it will be in the end of the year. Yeah.
Okay. How long will you be in Milan?
How long?
Yeah.
Oh, it depends on different situations. Because we are two, my general manager and me, and it depends how busy she will be.
Okay.
If she will be very busy, maybe she will go on Qatar.
To Qatar.
Yeah, to Qatar. So I will be alone. I will be there for a long time. Maybe for not for 2 months, but maybe it will be 2 weeks in Milan and week in Moscow and something like that.
Okay.
But it depends. Or if she will be in Milan with me, so we can change each other, and I can be sometimes in Moscow and at the same time in Milan. But now I study driving. It's started to be more strictly rules in Russia. And now I studied theory. And just yesterday, our teacher told us that we have no any chance to make a mistake. There are 20 questions. All of them should be right for passing the exam. You can imagine?
Wow.
Yeah, that maybe because of different problems on the road in Russia, the rules started to be strict, and it started to be difficult to have a license here. But I will try.
Okay. Yeah, because you need to study for the exam. So when will you take the exam?
Approximately 22 October.
Okay. So if you say, for example, if you do not pass, if a person does not pass the exam, how long do they have to wait to take it again?
I'm not sure, but maybe it's about a week, and you can try again.
Try again. Okay, you can continue trying. Okay, that's about what it is in the States. I think you have to wait about a week before you can take it again. So, and I think in the States it's also 20 or 40 questions, but you can only miss one or two. It's very not many. So, hi Audrey, how are you this morning?
Hello, teacher. I'm doing great, thank you.
Is the weather nice right now in the Ukraine?
Nice weather without rainy. It's,
good.
It's at least without rain, it's good. About 8 degrees.
Now, do you during the winter when it's got so much snow and rain and freezing rain, do you still take your bike to work, or do you go a different way to work?
Usually, no. I haven't that experience. But that in that winter, I'm gonna to use bicycle in the winter time.
Okay, you do as well. So do you get winter tires for your tires as well?
Yes, I have winter tires and winter equipment, and I'm ready to snow.
Okay, because I saw that in Finland as well, that there were people like you who were avid bike riders, and they would ride to and from work regardless of the time of year. I'm amazed. I admire you. Alina, do you ride a bike very often?
No, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because I never. No, one day I tried, but it was I was just a passenger. But I don't like it. I don't like it very much. Maybe bike it's not for me.
Yeah, this is a bicycle is what I'm talking about. So.
You're talking about bicycle. Bicycle. Yeah. That's okay, but unfortunately, it's impossible. it's possible to use in Moscow, but the distance is so huge. I mean, the route between my house and to the office, it's so huge, and in any way I should use the metro, and just maybe for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes I can use bicycle, but it's a little difficult to go metro than to use bicycle. So because of living here, I don't use bicycle.
Okay, yeah, and I don't need to commute to work because I just go into my office. So, but Andre here, he takes his bicycle every day, and it's 15 kilometers one way, right?
Yes, you're right. 15 kilometers one way, and 30 kilometers to get home and to get work.
Yeah. Well, I hope you never have a day like somebody last week in my class. He said that he got home from work, went to get his keys for his house, and it wasn't there. So he had to go all the way back to his office to get his keys. So anyway, what we're going to do today is this is going to be business, basically the language of business meetings. We're going to start out and we're going to have a quick discussion. Then we're going to look through some reading activities and look at the language on how people structure an argument. And then after that, we're going to look at some different phrases that you can use when you structure an argument, and then we will end up practicing talking and discussing specific topics. So that's the plan for today. So I hope this is useful for you. And so let's start out first. The first topic I have is, what typical topics do you discuss with your colleagues at business meetings? So Andre, what do you usually discuss with your colleagues at business meetings?
Usually, we discuss usually that issues that we have during the work day. Yes.
Daily issues. Okay.
Daily issues. Yes.
Okay. And then, do you also discuss projects?
Yes, the most of time we discuss project, but sometimes we discuss that how we spend time on the weekend and something like that.
Okay, so you also did talk about the weekend as well. So also some small talk is what we would say. Small talk like the weekend.
Small talks.
Okay. All right, and Elena, do you have any other topics that you guys do in your business meetings?
Normally I have business meetings not with my colleague, with our partners. Often it could be with our partners. Just yesterday I had a great business meeting. It was about 3 hours. Yeah, it was a little longer, and it was a French company. Very we want to make wonderful relationships with this partner, and so my boss. She wanted to be prepared for this meeting, and she worries about that. But as for me, it was not so difficult because it was French company, and also they speak French, and we speak English, and we spoke English, and we spoke French. It was a mix of languages. Yeah, but normally we make the presentation of our company, and otherwise they they made the presentation of their company, and after that we started to discuss the possibility of our collaboration, how we can help each other, how we can work with each other, in which ways, etc.
Okay, and you had the meeting on Sunday?
No, it was on Monday.
Is today Tuesday?
Yes. Yes, the second working day.
Okay, well, it's still Monday here. Oh.
Yeah, because we are always, we are always in the future.
Yeah, that's right. I was confused. I was like, you had a meeting with partners on, but of course it's the end of Monday, so of course.
Yeah, as for me, it's the start of new days.
Yeah. Okay. And for Andre as well. I'm the only one that's totally completely behind. So okay, so we have actually different kinds of meetings in. So the first meetings that Andre actually talked about was really the internal department meetings, or we'd say either a department meeting or a team meeting. And then the meetings that you talked about is with either partner meetings, a meeting, or we can say also that then we have, of course, client meetings. Do you, Andre, do you go to any client meetings at all in your job?
No, I haven't that experience.
Okay.
In my job, I'm a relatively a newcomer in my job, and I don't participate in meetings at all.
Yet. Yet, you mean, right? Say, I don't participate yet.
Yeah.
So, because later maybe you will. So, hey, Elena, it's 7 a.m. in the Ukraine right now.
Ah, okay, so
thank
you.
Yeah, it's 7 a.m. 8 a.m.
in Russia. Yeah.
In Moscow. Yeah. I learned. I'm starting to learn what time it is. I can just figure out what. Just it's like right now in in Japan it's noon. So noon or 1 o'clock.
Yeah, well prepared for that.
Yeah, it's I never thought, because usually I just go to timeanddate.com and figure out what time it is if I have a meeting somewhere. But now I'm starting to actually figure it out, just because all the times I've asked people what time it is. So, okay, so do either one of you ever have virtual meetings?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. It's a normal practice for our company, because our director, she lives in Milan now. Oh, and okay. And we have a Skype conference sometimes, and I believe that it's very useful, and we can decide all our problems together. We can send some documents to her, and she could confirm some documents. So that's very useful. Yeah, and also I have I study I study languages with that. So I have a normal meeting with my teachers. So I have experience on that.
Okay, and how about you, Andre? Besides Verbling and English class, do you ever have the chance to get into virtual meetings at all? Yet?
No.
Okay.
I haven't that experience yet.
Yeah. I think it will probably be coming in, in future. It does depend, of course, on the companies and so forth. I found it really interesting in a lot of the American companies. They actually don't use the VoIP. You guys know what I mean by VoIP?
No, what does it mean?
No.
Okay.
No.
It stands for Voice over Internet Protocol. And it's basically how we are actually speaking right now. It's the audio that Google Hangouts uses and Skype uses and all the different companies. So sometimes when I've gone on virtual meetings in the States with some companies, what they do is they'll use their cell phone and they'll call a number, and then they'll go into the web conference meeting. And I'm like, why are you doing both? But that's just different companies do virtual meetings different ways. So, okay, so what we're doing is we're structuring, and we're going to talk about structuring an argument. So what we're going to do is we're going to read two different paragraphs, and then we'll look at the words that they use that's underlined to see how the person was able to transition their thoughts. Okay, so what I'd like you guys to do is let's just take it in turn. Alina, if you would read the first sentence, Andre, you read the second, I'll read the third, and we'll just go back and forth on sentences. Okay.
Okay, just the first sentence, yeah?
Just the first sentence, yeah, not the whole paragraph like we do with other reading classes. So. Okay.
As regards our cash flow situation, we are having problem with slow payers.
Okay, Audrey?
Therefore, I think we need to deal with this situation urgently.
In the first place, we should consider imposing penalties for late payments. Okay, could you read the next sentence?
Yes, still loading. So, okay, I got it now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For example, starts here.
For example, and which second?
The first one. Yeah. Do you see where my mouse is? Right here.
Okay. Yes. For example, if a client pays 10 days late, they would have to pay a fixed amount of interest on the due payment.
Thank you. Elena.
What's more, we should call our client more often to insist on prompt payment.
Okay.
And insist, yeah?
Insist on, yeah.
Insist.
Okay. Andre.
In fact, I think we should hire a credit controller responsible for collecting late payments, rather than leaving this task to the accountant.
I realize that our clients may find these measures rather strict, but if we explain to them carefully and tactfully that these steps are very necessary, they should understand. Okay.
After all, we do have very good relationships with them, and we have given most of them generous discount this year.
Perfect. Okay, so let's look at each sentence one at a time. So as regards our cash flow situation, we are having problems with slow payers. Do you guys understand these words and phrases? Okay, silence means yes.
Cash flow situation is a situation with accounts, yeah?
Yeah, it's an accounting situation, and cash flow is basically, if you consider the cash flow, it's basically the money coming in and out. We call in accounting they call it ins and outs. So the money, the cash or the money going into the company and going out. Yes, Andre.
I think that main meaning of that paragraph that there are problems with delaying of payments.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they are having problems because of slow payers. Slow payers. Yes, the main meaning they're having problems.
Slow, it's meaning delaying.
Yeah. So they send an invoice. They say maybe they give them 20 days net, which is they from the time that they get the invoice, it's 20 days, and then from there they it's 20 basically 20 days net. Then they don't pay, and maybe 30-40 days later they still haven't paid. Okay. Which means they expected in accounting they need money to come in so that the money can go out, so that they can pay their employees or pay their bills. So it's a big problem with small companies. Yes.
I can say that this client clients have some problem with their debts.
Yes. Yeah. And this actual financial problem is a problem with smaller companies because they depend on their cash flow. Large multinational companies have a lot more money so they don't have to worry about it. But some smaller companies, say for example, if one of their if their big client doesn't pay, then they don't have the money to pay their employees. And if their employees don't get paid, then they of course don't do work, and so it's a big problem, with that. So, are there any other words or phrases in here that you do not know that we read?
Oh yeah. Penalties. Penalties is sounding.
Oh, penalties
from football.
Okay. Yeah, it is from that is actually it's a penalty box from hockey. Hockey has penalty boxes, right? But yeah, so in the first place we should consider imposing penalties for late payments. For example, I know that in Finland, if a company pays late, they get charged extra.
Yeah. This is a penalties.
Yeah, that's a penalty. Okay. But in the U.S., if a company pays late, they don't get charged because the company will go, well, I don't have to use you. Why should I pay this penalty? So it does depend on the country.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Any other words or phrases?
What about as regards?
As regards.
Why it is there.
Okay, that's another way. Another phrase you can put is regarding. Regarding, or basically you're saying. It's basically it is saying. It's basically a way to start a topic. So so when you want to start a topic in the beginning, maybe you guys have been talking about weather, right? You've been doing small talk, and then you you want to change the subject and get to business, right? You can say, okay, let's get back to let's get started, shall we, or something like that, and then you would actually say, now regarding, or as regards our cash flow situation, or as regards, or regarding. As regards to me sounds strange because it's British English and not American. American English we would say regarding, but regarding the situation in the parking lot last week. So
can we use that in our daily conversation as start of speech?
Yes, you can. If you are switching gears and you're changing the subject, yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we we've got as regards or regarding is how Americans would say it, is how you can actually change a topic. In the first, therefore is something, you know, he's in this respect, as regards our cash flow situations, we are having problems with slow payers. So therefore, I think we need to deal with this situation urgently in the first place. For example, what's more? In fact, after all, these are all statements that you can use, especially when you are structuring an argument. You're trying to convince people to agree with you.
It's a kind of connection.
Yeah, these are connecting phrases. Exactly. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. Every time we should use comma. Yeah. After this word. But as regards, no.
Yeah, as regards, we haven't. Yeah, with a lot of them, because these are actually connecting phrases, but they actually don't need to be there. What they
it's like an addition.
Yeah, and they make the argument stronger by putting them in there. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's look at the next one. The prison system. Let's also let's read this again. Also, one sentence at a time. Okay. Why don't you start? You read the first one, Andre the second one, Elena the third one, and I'll read the fourth one.
Okay. I believe that too many people who break the law are sent to prison these days. On the whole, sorry.
Hey, Andre?
On the whole, the system doesn't work.
Also, studies show that most ex-prisoners continue to commit crimes after they are released. More and more people are being imprisoned.
The system can be improved in so many ways. Okay?
Teenagers, for instance, should be given lighter punishment, at least for less serious offenses.
Andre.
In addition, education and training should be improved.
In other words, we should prepare prisoners for life outside jail.
However, regarding very serious crimes, I think that we have no choice but to keep such criminals in jail for the maximum period of time. So, are there any words or phrases in this that you do not know?
In jail. I don't remember this word.
Okay.
Criminals in jail is the last sentence.
Okay. And jail is kind of a mini prison. So prison is where you send criminals for a long period of time, and jail is for shorter periods of time. So
okay.
A jail is at the usually you have a prison system, and jails are usually at the police stations.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Any other words? It's interesting. When I read that, I thought of an article I read on the local news site about a boy in Oregon who was in juvenile detention. Do you guys know what that is?
No.
Okay.
What could you
juvenile detentions? Juvenile, it's is it like children? It's not like children, but before 16, yeah.
Yeah, it's youth prison, basically.
Yeah.
And this boy was 17 years old, and they took 10 of these kids to a football game, and he got separated, and he went out and he raped a girl. It's like, really? So, Andre, you had a question?
No. Go ahead, teacher.
Yeah, no, I finished.
I don't have question.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, but I read this article about, this kid, and I'm like, really? They let him out. They went, basically, the juvenile detention center went on a field trip. It took the kids that they thought were doing really good, and they gave them and this kid goes out and commits another crime, and now he's going to go from juvenile detention to adult prison because of the crime that he made, because he's 17. It's like, wow. I was very surprised. Are there any words or phrases besides jail that you guys do not know in this?
No.
Okay, so we have on this one, as far as the connecting sentences, the connecting phrases, we have on the whole, although, for instance, in other words, in addition, however, and regarding. Okay, so we've got these underlines and words expressions serve different functions. Let's look at the table below. If you introduce a new topic, for example, as regards or regarding, I don't believe I don't agree that it's very serious crimes. I think it's American English for this one. So giving or adding a new point in the first place, what's more, in addition. Describing a general situation would be on the whole. Giving an example, for instance, introducing a contrasting idea, however, although, modifying a previous statement, in fact. If you modify a previous statement, you make the previous statement stronger. You simplify or you make it simple, in other words. Supporting, after all. You introduce the logical result of a situation, therefore. Okay, so we've got some other expressions. Can you guys figure out where they would go? Any?
We could develop our examples using that words.
Yeah. It's for structurize for example, our speech. Or if we write an essay or something like that, we could structurize our topic.
Exactly. So if you write a speech, or if you're preparing for a business meeting, or it's not really just conversation. It's actually if you're trying to convince, for example, a client, or you're trying to convince your boss, or you're trying to persuade somebody to change their mind or do something different, then this is what it's for. Does that make sense, Andre?
Should come back soon.
Are you having problems hearing Helena?
Only I can hear you. I can't hear you well.
You can't?
No.
How's that?
Oh, that's better.
Is that better? I accidentally moved to my microphone.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so what these expressions are is for when you build an argument and when you're trying to convince someone to do something. For example, let's see if we can put these in the right category. And firstly, actually, and then we will practice. Okay. As far as money is concerned, or as far as vacation is concerned, where would you guys put that?
As the first.
Yeah, as far as. How about in short?
Simplifying a previous point.
Perfect. Okay. And however. I'm sorry. I don't have however there. I'm like, where's however? Overall.
In fact mode.
Overall would be, oh, this is where I read it over. Overall would be describing a general situation. Okay. Firstly.
Giving additional or adding a new points.
Giving or adding a new point, yes. And actually.
It's like, for example, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually what it is. It's modifying a previous statement.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, and then we have despite this.
Also modify.
No, it's contradiction.
Yeah, it's introducing a contrasting idea. Yeah. Despite this, and also you think of it in spite as well would work for that. In spite, but keep in mind in spite of and despite. So of, you wouldn't say despite of, you would say in spite of. So, okay. Additionally, where would that go?
It's the same like in addition. Describing or adding a new point.
Yeah, giving or adding a new point. You're right. Additionally, and of course I need to write it correct. Okay, and as a result.
For resume. As a result.
Introducing the logical result of the situation.
Yes.
Okay, and in general.
Simplify.
It actually it's describing a general situation as well.
On the whole.
Yeah. Oh, and then of course, what did this just do? I pressed something on my keyboard and it does this. So bear with me. In general. I just learned just recently that you can actually write on Adobe's. So this is a PDF. On the PDF reader, you can actually write on these. So, but now what we're going to do is we're going to complete this reading, and then we're going to go through, and we're actually going to we'll look at some agreeing and disagreeing phrases, and then we will actually practice, and you guys will be able to talk about different topics. So, which I think is when you'll get it more, Andre. So, let's go ahead and read these together. I'm going to read the first paragraph. On the whole, I think that outsourcing is a good thing for companies. For many firms, outsourcing work to cheaper regions of the world is one way of reducing costs. The cost of labor in India, can anybody think of which one that would work for?
For example.
For example, that works. Another one would be for instance. For example, okay, is much lower than in the West. And that should be a little W, by the way. So many Western companies have set up call centers there and are able to provide a cheaper service to their customers. Any idea what this one would be?
In addition.
Yeah, or additionally.
It actually.
What's more? What's more?
In short, bear with me. Sorry about this. In short, or
it's like.
And so it's actually saying the same thing over. In short, or in other words.
Mm-hmm.
In short, in other words. What am I doing? Does anybody have any idea?
No.
In other words, okay. In short, or in other words, there are plenty of advantages. So number 4, any idea what that would be?
In addition to that?
I think, however, there are several drawbacks for companies that outsource.
Drawback means negative drawback.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Drawbacks is negative. Firstly, they lack full control over the work since they have to trust other companies to train and manage the staff. Additionally, and instead of in addition, we would use additionally because we've done firstly here. Firstly and then additionally, cultural differences mean that customers don't always receive a high standard of service. That's been my experience. And as regards the countries where outsourcing projects are based, much needed jobs are provided and the local economy usually benefits. However, there is always the risk of exploitation. Many workers are paid too little and have to work long hours. What's more, for which they work are far from ideal and many suffer from stress. So I went ahead and added these because frankly, as a native speaker of English, I couldn't do this without help. So that's why I just started doing it myself. So does this make sense? Yes.
Could you explain me, please, drawbacks?
Drawbacks,
the guys told that it sounds like negative, but yeah. I don't know.
Drawbacks is another way of saying basically, if you know pros and cons.
Yes.
A drawback is a con, a minus, a plus or a minus, or a negative trait.
Okay.
That's what drawbacks are. So, for example, the drawbacks to Google Hangouts is we're not looking at each other. I'm seeing you guys are seeing the picture, and I'm seeing, and you guys are seeing the worksheet, but you're not actually seeing me talk. So that's a drawback to Google Hangouts, for example.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. You're welcome. So agreeing and disagreeing. So let's quickly go over these expressions and then we'll practice. Oh, okay, so absolutely, is that strong agreement, partial agreement, disagreement, or strong disagreement?
Strong agreement.
Yes.
Okay, let's quickly do this because looks like we don't have as much time as I hoped. Okay, I totally agree with you.
Strong agreement.
Strong agreement.
Yeah, and I'm just not going to write. I'm afraid I don't really agree.
Partial agreement.
It's actually disagreement, but it's saying I'm afraid is a polite way of
yeah, I don't really agree.
Yeah, that might be true, but
partial.
You must be joking.
Strong disagreement.
I absolutely disagree.
Strong disagreement again.
Okay, I'd go along with that.
Agreement.
Okay, it's partial. It's a partial or agree, either one of them. I'm not sure about that.
Disagreement.
That's a disagreement. Yes, you're right. Agreement.
Yes,
agreement.
You're right to a certain extent, but
partial agreement.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at these opinions. And what I'd like you guys to do together is agree or disagree to the following opinions using expressions from this exercise. So I'm going to put the expressions actually on one side of the screen and have this on the other side. So bear with me a moment. Okay. So let's start with Ake. How about you go first? I always choose you first. Andre, why don't you go first? Do you realize that, Ake? I think it's because you come in late. I always want to give you a chance to speak, so I always have you go first. But Andre, could you comment? Choose one of these topics and comment on it, and then ask somebody else what they think.
Who? I made a comment.
Andre.
I think
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanna ask Aka.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, one moment, please.
Okay.
Aka, do you think if smoking should be banned everywhere?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why?
Why? Because of the current anti-smoking movement, very hard, and I don't smoke, and I'm afraid of secondhand smoking.
I absolutely agree with you, Aka.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to play the devil's advocate for a moment. Okay? Do you guys know that saying? I'm going to play the devil's advocate for a moment. Okay. And which means I actually agree with you, but I'm going to argue. So what about smokers' rights? As a smoker, I should be able to smoke on my out on my balcony without my neighbors complaining.
That might be true, but let's think about our ecological situation on the planet.
What do you think, Andre?
I think that actually I'm done smoking, but we should give respect for other people who wanted to smoke. They should have possibility to smoke on their apartment, on the balcony, and on open air.
Okay,
I don't think that there are huge dangers for natural.
You must be joking, Andrew. How many people live on our planet? And if everyone smokes, it could be dangerous.
It's impossible if everyone.
How many cigarettes every person smokes every day? You could imagine, and you could multiply it for the counters. Oh, for the numbers of.
Okay, so but you interrupted him, so let him continue what he was going to say.
Yeah.
Andre?
What? I don't understand.
So okay, Elena explained what you were saying.
It's my turn to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, could you imagine how many times every person smokes during the day? And could you multiply this number to the number of smokers on the planet? And you can imagine.
No, I can't imagine.
Me too. Me neither.
It's a huge amount of smoke. What it maybe it would be 1 or 2% of all amount of air on the earth.
I believe that's a great number, and maybe we can think about electronic cigarette. Maybe it's not so.
Okay, so
dangerous and harmful.
Yeah.
Let's change gears here now. So, okay, could you choose a topic?
Okay. Outsourcing is a good thing for companies and economies.
Do you agree or disagree?
It's a question for me.
Okay, why don't you say what you think first?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of both beneficial and both drawbacks for the companies and its workers.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that might be true, but there's also drawbacks.
Right.
Okay.
Because of the cost down, but the cost maybe because of that cost down, company suffers or job opportunity go abroad and the local workers might be hired, but they have to work in a very bad situation condition or low salary. That's a
Okay.
drawback.
Okay. All right. And what do you guys think? Do you agree with him or disagree? Elena, Andre?
Yes, that might be true. Yeah, but I agree that it has some cons. Yeah, but normally it works.
Yeah. Okay. So outsourcing is a good thing for the economies and companies, unless people lose their jobs. Like, I remember a company I taught at in Finland. A year later, I hear that everybody lost their job unless they wanted to move to China. So, because they had moved their factory all the way to China. So, and I guess it was good for the company, but not for the people that worked there. So, all right. Okay, Alina, would you choose a topic?
Oh, I'm just writing that I should go, but it's okay. It's okay. I will do it.
Choose a topic, and the guys will talk about it.
Yeah, you can never trust salesmen, guys.
What do you think, Andre? What do you think? You can never trust salesmen. Okay. Have a good day, Alina.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Actually, I'm always tend to don't trust salesmen because since in my country we have a bad customer service.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you never trust salesmen. So you believe that. How about you, Ake?
Yeah. Usually I don't trust the salesmen because they have a normal English to achieve their goal, their sales. So someone is very persistent, and in most cases, the purpose of it is selling the product, so not improve my life or saving my money or something like that. So usually I trust them.
Yeah. Okay. And I have been a salesperson. Plus, my dad was a salesperson all my life, and so I have a different attitude. But I think that there are salesmen that you can't trust, and then the ones that you can. It's just important to find out the motivation for the person who is trying to sell to you. But it's been a long time since I've done any sales, so. All right, I'm going to choose one. Number 6, it is easier to speak English on the phone than face-to-face. Do you guys agree or disagree with that?
Disagree. Phone is difficult. Because the quality of the phone, Skype is, or this kind of new system is very big. It has a good sound quality, but on the traditional phone, sound quality is worse than this. And I cannot get the facial expression. There's no camera on traditional phone. So I always suffer to get the meaning on the phone.
And that's one of the things about Google Hangouts is we actually don't see each other. I guess we can.
For me, I'm afraid I don't really agree.
Okay, talk to us.
Because the most reason that we couldn't have opportunity to use a gesture language using the phone speak.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for me, it's not. Well, of course, to me, speaking English anywhere is easy. But when I try to speak English or try to speak Finnish on the phone, I have the hardest time understanding. And then I have such a strong American accent that they also are like, don't understand. And so they might tell me to text, send me a text the few times I've ever tried to speak on the phone. But face to face, I don't have a problem.
Sorry, teacher. They can't understand you. That what people that you have conversation that they didn't understand you. What country? From what country?
It was in Finland, and I was speaking Finnish, and I would call on the phone, and I had a friend who did not speak English, and so we would spend time together, and I was learning Finnish just because she couldn't speak English, and so I had to speak Finnish, and so. One time I called her and she did not understand me, where face to face she had no problem.
Then didn't misunderstand you on Finnish?
Yeah, they didn't misunderstand me. They just didn't understand at all.
Because you couldn't use the gesture language.
Exactly, like I got on the camera and I couldn't do any of this, or the face, that kind of stuff. Yeah. The only thing that would work is the tone of voice. So gesture language, actually, another word for that, Andre, is body language.
Okay.
We say, or we would say gestures, but we probably normally we don't use gesture language. We just say we couldn't use the gestures or the facial expression.
Body language is okay.
So
I got it.
Yeah, because we actually don't say gesture language. So body language is basically gestures, facial expressions, anything to do with your gestures, for example. So, okay. All right, it looks like we're out of time. Thank you very much for your participation today, and I hope to see you tomorrow or later on. I guess tomorrow is the next time I'm teaching, so see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.